Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with the beginning of something brand new. It has always been the goal of this channel to help spread knowledge, and we have done so over the last few months by exploring some ancient texts in the Ancient Lore playlist. We've explored some esoteric texts in the Esoterica playlist, and now we're going to explore some people. We're going to take some time and we're going to talk to people in person across the internet and gain some knowledge that they may have. Um, Before we begin, however, if you are unfamiliar with me, any of my unconventional beliefs, or if at any time that you get lost in the terminology of the things that are spoken, there will be several playlists linked in the corner above and in the box down below, along with the link from my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. With that being said, we're now going to introduce the very first guest on the PittCast. This is Jason from Green Country Agroforestry. I'm pretty sure I got it right that time.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast, right? I could have picked a better channel name, don't you think?
Yeah, I actually put it up so that I could actually read it this time. So, Jason, welcome to the channel. He's going to be introducing us to some concepts around the Hebrew alphabet. One of the things that I have been asked to explore, and I don't really know how to explore, is the Kabbalah.
Right.
This will give a base for understanding some of the text, not to give a full understanding. Neither one of us claim to be a master of anything. We are just adepts along the road trying to find the way and show what we have found. And so we're looking to get some greater understanding of some of these concepts through the interpretation of the actual characters involved in the Hebrew script. And Jason's got some great insights. He's proven through time to make wonderful comments on the channel, and he's always brought enlightenment. And he is on his own channel. He does gardening, but he also brings a little bit of wisdom along the way in a unique style that I find enjoyable, and I subscribe to his channel. And the link for that will be provided down below as well. So with that being said, we're going to turn it over to Jason and let him introduce himself and what we're going to be doing.
All right. Well, hello, good people. Hi, I'm Jason with Green Country Agroforestry. I'm the founder and CEO of a small gardening nursery. The YouTube channel really is existing to market the nursery. So buy my plants. Visit the website, buy plants. I mean, they're cheap. They're cheaper than you're going to get them from Walmart. They're cheaper than you're going to get them from the box store. They're going to be healthy. They're not going to have pesticides on them, and they're almost certainly guaranteed. I'm not saying guaranteed because that's a strong word, but they're most likely going to survive where you are. They survive here in Oklahoma, and we have extreme weather.
There you go.
So if it survives here, chances are it'll make it in your yard. But enough of that, because we're going to be talking about the stuff that I usually don't talk about on my channel today. Real quick, I'm also a sailor. Hi. The reason I've got this shirt on, my wife got it for me. This is hi, I'm Big Papa. Back whenever I was processing through MEPS, they gave me everybody's paperwork so I could escort them to the Great Lakes Training Center, and that was technically my first command. And one of the kids said, "All right, what do we do now, Papa Smurf?" And that was it. It stuck, and I decided I may as well own it.
That is all it takes. One recruit to say it one time is a wrap.
Yeah, and then later on, I wound up getting called that again by somebody who already knew that story. And yeah, it was okay. I guess I'm Papa Smurf, which is fine. Perfectly fine. I don't mind. Anyway, so I do dress up like a garden gnome a little bit while I'm doing the channel, and we do a little philosophy.
One day you'll catch up. And you'll look like Papa Smurf.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe Santa Claus. I'm trying to avoid.
There you go.
I'm trying to avoid Santa Claus. More Papa Smurf, less Santa Claus. But anyway,
there you go.
Yeah, we could talk about me all day, and I'd love it. That wouldn't accomplish anything. So let's move on. The thing that I'm putting into the book that I'm writing, because Jeremy is kind of prompting me to get off my butt and get motivated and be diligent doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. And one of them is, going out and spreading the word of God. And part of that is going to have to require that I also do some writing and do some publishing. And so I'm working on it. And one of the big things along the way, big stumbling block for anybody that gets involved in doing this sort of thing, is getting confused oneself about who the real teacher is and who the real student is. And we're going to get into that really quick and really fast today. But even before starting, the thing that I wanted to put into the book, and I'm going to pull it up here so I can read it because I don't have it fully memorized, is the foreword. And part of the foreword is it's important to note that the author of this material is not to be considered a teacher or master, nor should the orator relating this information, whether from rote repetition or reading aloud, be held in any higher regard. If that honorific is to be granted, it would be a kindness to call us brother or sister, and in that capacity, we may share some few small techniques that may be a benefit on the journey towards understanding of truth. If one finds them useful, please do likewise. And that's everything we're going to talk about today, and people who are watching going like, these guys aren't Christian, you're going to be surprised, like really surprised, because we're going to launch into some teachings from Jesus, who is undoubtedly the finest teacher on these subjects. So I'm not up to snuff at all. I like to think I can forgive, and I can, but the ultimate exemplar of that, I don't even want to find out if I can match up. So my hat's off to a true master, and let's proceed with the beginning of the alphabet, if you don't mind.
All right, let's pull up.
All right, here we go, guys. First Hebrew lesson, diving right in. This is Aleph. Oh, you got the name down. Oh,
I hope I get them all and I get them right.
This is awesome.
To work on my SI demon.
So. It's wonderful to work with real professionals. I'm not. No, seriously, that bookshelf over there behind me, it's not ordinarily organized. It's usually a jumble. It looks like Merlin's library or something like this. Big pile of the books everywhere. All right. Aleph. All right, focusing. Aleph. For people that do not have a screen and are listening, Aleph is described as the dividing line between this and that. The symbol looks a bit like the division symbol on your keyboard, except the line is a diagonal, being higher on the left than on the right. The dot above and dot below are diametrically opposed to each other, and in calligraphy, they're drawn with a little swoosh that comes down to meet the dividing line, making it look a little bit, and just a little bit, like a kind of crooked X sort of character. Now, the dividing line between this and that is important to Aleph, because that really is sort of the definition of it, separating what is from what is not. This is, I guess you could say, a fundamental understanding of the sword of truth, really. What divides, what is and what is not.
So that looks to me like a sword slash. Like it looks like something is cutting apart something else.
Right. There are two different types of sword. One that cuts. There's another one, and it's the one that breaks chains. We'll call that one liberation. But I guess we can get to that one too. But that's different mythologies. That's different mythology.
In another episode. Excellent.
Maybe in another episode, I'll prepare something on Arthurian legend, which will be fun, because I am the son of Arthur. Never mind. I didn't know my father. My mother and him, they divorced when I was 6 months old. But his actual name was Arthur, which is funny, but not relevant. Not relevant at all. All right, moving on. Why am I talking about me? Stop that. All right, Aleph. Here we go. In the Phoenician alphabet, Aleph is represented with a bull's head turned on its side, which I don't have a graphic for, but don't worry about it. You see it in the modern day keyboard, though, because it's been turned up this way, and now it's the A. It's the Aleph. But the Hebrews didn't want to write a bull's head for the beginning of their alphabet because of the name of God, which is El, or Aleph Lamed. We got Lamed there. Show Lamed. Oh, before we go to Lamed, there are meanings. I'm getting so distracted. I am sorry. There are meanings for all these characters beyond anything else, but it's kind of like the way you build a language. Aleph has other meanings. Its meaning is master and teacher. And of course, by the dividing line between what is and what is not, this is your ultimate source of knowledge, what is and what is not. You know anything from knowing, by being, by doing, through thoughts and actions. You make yourself what you are, and you know by being. The experience is how you know anything. This from that. Who are you? Right. All right. So then we have Lamed. Lamed is another character that can mean teacher, but it means teacher in the sense of as I teach, I learn. As I learn, I teach. So it is a continuous circle of teaching and learning. It is the experience by which one gains the understanding, essentially. Like by through the experience of doing, you learn, you know. Until you went out and started baking bread, for example, you didn't know how to bake bread. You might have read a recipe in a book somewhere, but you didn't know it.
If you don't do it, you don't actually know.
Yeah, right. You said, well, somebody said, do this, do this, do this, do this. Whenever we examine our foundation of knowledge, we might discover that it's not a foundation of knowledge at all. It's a foundation of belief, which is okay. It's okay. I mean, if the people that you are placing your faith in can be trusted that they are reporting accurately, you don't go too far. But what you actually know from what you believe is a difference. And whenever you have a situation where what you have been believing in is different from the knowing that you're experiencing reality and you're trying to reconcile these two, you have a mental condition called cognitive dissonance. And you're not living in reality.
Right.
That's the problem with belief. So we want to be able to make sure that we know the difference between what I know and what I believe. And what I know means what I
speculation.
Right. What I know means what I've had the option of experiencing. And so we have Lamed, and Lamed is also incidentally the symbol for the King of Kings. There's another symbol for the King of Kings, but the reason is because this is the one that actually gets to experience and learn and teach all together, and it's part of another word we'll get to in a minute. But you put these two together. You have Aleph, which is the source of all knowledge. Then you have the Lamed, which is the teacher learner, and it was indeed built upon one of these. This is a stockman's cane, not a shepherd's axe. Proper shepherd's axe has a stone on the bottom for crushing snakeheads. This is actually something I use for pulling branches down so I can prune them and gather fruit and stuff like that. It's not for hurting livestock. Although I think I did use it to relocate a praying mantis the other day, which is fun. I just held it up. He hopped on and went, "Yeah, I don't want you over here next to that butterfly that's getting ready to pop open. Here, let's put you over here." And he went and headed somewhere else. Okay, so we put these together. I'm sorry, I like to ramble. We put these together. We have Aleph Lamed, the master teacher, and we have the master teacher, source of all knowledge, the dividing line between this and that. And then we have the teacher learner. And when these two come together, the source of all knowledge and the teacher learner, we have El. Well, this is El, the Lord who is God, essentially in the old Canaanite language. The Hebrew people are a Canaanite people. The name that they have came from Canaanite roots. El is the Lord who is God, the source of all knowledge, the teacher learner. Incidentally, since he's teaching and learning, that means he's actually involved in the world.
Right? You cannot be if you are not.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is...
You can get all the self-knowledge you want on top of the mountain, but unless you come down, you're always the hermit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you have to go forth and experience to know. And if you do not go forth and experience, you cannot know. So in order for El, God, El Deyat, to be the source of all knowledge, El must go forth and experience and know.
Absolutely.
So whenever you're going forth and encountering the other faces of God out there, the human being that you're encountering along the way, you're seeing the image of God. This is, if you would like to think of it this way, this is God experiencing and knowing. Not that the person that you're looking at is aware of this identity.
Yeah.
But if you accept the encounter in this way, then you will remember something important, which is your proper position in the entire arrangement of things.
Because that's how I look at it. Like every part of existence is part of the experience.
Right.
And so even the bad things that happen, like the broken leg, like even if that happens, it's part of the experience. I got lessons that I learned from that. And so you have to appreciate that for yourself. And if you can appreciate it for yourself, you can apply that to other people. And if you can apply it to other people, then you realize that we're all the same.
The glass is experiencing being a glass. The Gatorade is experiencing being drunk. Oh, they'll probably feel bad later.
Yeah.
Getting drunk usually does.
Well, at least getting rid of what you drunk. Anyway, before we develop too deeper, what we got going on with L here?
All right, so El, of course, was the old Canaanite name for God, but you have this is insufficient for a description. It's not a name; it is a title, because we can't actually name God. We would have to be able to stand somewhere to observe God in God's entirety and say, "Oh, I see how tall he is. I see how long his beard is. I see that he's a he."
Oh, God is 6'5.25". We were all wrong.
Oh, darn!
We missed it by a quarter inch.
And you had to be precise too. Oh, yeah. If you missed it by just that much, oh, you're off the mark. Being off the mark is sinning, and if you sin, well, you know where you're going.
God forbid God had hazel eyes, because you could never describe them. You'd be in trouble.
Oh no! All right. So Aleph Lamed El. This is God. Okay. Let's go back to Aleph again, because since we can't point to God and say here's God, since we can't name God and say this is God's name, we come up with different titles. We'll say El Tov, God is good. That would be good for now. If we don't have anything else that we can say about God, we'll say God is good, because if God isn't good, then we're all screwed anyway.
Ain't that the truth?
All right. So we have Aleph. Here's the dividing line between this and that. It is the teacher. Let's go to the second letter of the alphabet, and it's called Bet. And Bet can be pronounced either with a B or a V sound. The way we've drawn it here for everybody, it looks like a house turned on its side, and that is actually what it is, a house or a dwelling. There we go. Right side up, little chimney beside it. Oh, isn't that cute? So it's a house or a dwelling. Bethlehem once had another name. It is a house. It was always the house, and it was always the house of a Lord. It was not always the house of the Lord, and it was not always called the house of bread. That's a different lesson for a different day. But we'll get to that later. Whenever you're looking at Bet and you see it, you can see it either like this, or you can see it with a dot in the middle of it. Whenever it has a dot in the middle of it, it means that the B sound is a B sound. Whenever it doesn't have a dot, the B sound is more like the Spanish B, which is a BV sound. So Bet is either Bet or Vet, but we usually say Bet. Anyway, so there it is. It means house or dwelling. Let's put the two words, or the two characters together. Aleph, the source of all knowledge, the dividing line between this and that, and a house or dwelling. So we have the master teacher put together with the house or dwelling.
I gotta find it. Hold on now.
All right.
I got this. Is this the right one?
That's a little bit further on. There we go.
Okay, this is.
And we've got Av.
And then it's
Av.
Right.
And it is kind of like a BV Ab. If you really wanted to get the pronunciation exactly, what are we talking about exactly right? We're talking about a language that hasn't really been spoken properly by anybody for over 1,000 years. So I don't know how to get precise about this. The old way that
you mean if you don't say the name exactly right, you are not.
Oh yeah, if you missed the mark,
you
remember,
mispronounced
you
the name.
missed the mark. If you missed the mark, you have sinned, and if you sinned, you're going to go to the bad place.
Yeah.
Where they make you wait in line for hours and hours and hours, and then tell you.
If you hit that RJ, you might burn, bro.
And incidentally, Ab and Abba, father, daddy, Ab is father. Whenever you went down around to Egypt and you started combining that with Ba, which is your Egyptian for heart, so the father of your heart, daddy. Yeah, there you go. There's Egyptian connections there, undeniably. At one point in time, the Levant was a protectorate of Egypt, and there were Egyptian pharaohs who were from the Levant for a while. I mean, that was a thing that happened. Anyway, so here we have Aleph Bet Av. This is the master teacher combined with dwelling house. The master in his dwelling, the teacher in his house. That's father. That seems fairly straightforward. I mean, isn't every man the master of his dwelling and the father the teacher in his house?
Should be.
Yeah.
Should be, if you're doing it right.
So far, this makes sense.
Absolutely.
Now we have a word for father. Let's look at another letter, and then we'll learn another word. The other letter is called nun. I kind of went out of order yesterday. Okay, here's the letter nun. And just like all of the letters that we've been looking at all this time, each one has a meaning. So the letter has a meaning, it has a name, it has a sound that it makes. And then whenever it's combined with other letters, it can have other sounds and it can have other meanings. Usually they're combined. The German language evolved this way, incidentally. So if you're familiar with German a little bit, then you're familiar with taking one word, combining it with another word whenever the combined words make something else. And then Americans, we like to take things and abbreviate it. So we do the same thing, but then we go and make a contraction. And so that's how we all do language. We all do it differently. It's great. All right. So nun, pronounced nu. All right. Has two different forms. It can be written two different ways. Hebrew is confusing.
Yeah.
The Hebrew language is confusing. They didn't bother with a pronunciation guide until 6th, 7th century AD or so. So the old stuff, you don't know how to pronounce it unless you just happen to know how to pronounce it. Good luck.
All right. Good luck finding someone to teach you.
And how you pronounce it probably made a difference depending upon which direction around the Mediterranean you were heading. If you were heading north around the Mediterranean, the B became a V. If you're heading south around the Mediterranean, the Bet became a B or stayed a B, or maybe it wasn't. Who knows? Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? And I'm wondering also the back and forth. I'm also wondering the back and forth. I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm sorry. I'll get back to noon in just a second. I'm wondering if the back and forth that was happening at about 1000 BC or so with the Iberians from Spain coming and landing there, that was who the Philistines were. They were from Spain. They're the Iberians. If they were going back and forth, is that how they picked up the BV there? So your Spanish BV is a BV, and your Hebrew BV is a BV. Is that a cultural exchange in antiquity? Right. It may be. It may. I don't know. It may be. Anyway, okay. Back on to noon. The two forms of noon. We got two. He has to have two, and noon has a whole bunch of different meanings. I'm only going to focus on two of those meanings, so we won't get too confused, because they're the meanings that relate to the words we're going to talk about today. Those two meanings are humility, which is shown by noon on our right. For people who can't see, noon on the right kind of looks like the character C in backwards with a flat bottom, and the top properly should be a little bit shorter than the bottom. And in calligraphy, whenever they draw this out, it looks kind of like a person sitting cross-legged with their tablet on their lap and their head bent in study, like they're studying their scriptures or their books or their lessons or whatever. Yeah, the person in study. There you go. Yeah, Pitt's doing it from the side. Here's the person, and this is when it's like this, we call it humility. So it has the meaning of humility. And then whenever it's shown at the end of a word, apparently it knows what it's doing by now. And so it's drawn straight up and down. And sometimes in the calligraphy, it's got a little poop at the top of it, and that's like the little head beep. But it's now standing straight up and down because now it knows how to stand upright and go forth and rule. And by rule, this is the other meaning, rulership or kingship is a meaning for noon. In that context, it's not kingship as in, I'm the king, you must do what I say. It's kingship or rulership as in I know the right way of being. And so it is knowing the right way of being. And so there we have the two different
narrow way.
The straight, and it is a straight line. So it's a straight and narrow. There are a lot of things that suddenly became clear whenever you saw the letter, and if somebody was drawing it in the dirt for you, teaching you the Hebrew alphabet, you go, oh, wait a minute. They only taught me this in Greek, and they didn't show me the alphabet. Why did they not show me the alphabet?
Well, don't you know even Hindu is drawn from the Greek?
No. No.
Maybe I shouldn't take that dig, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, see my video today.
Yeah, see the latest one. See the latest one. Yeah. I didn't comment, but yeah, that was messed up. I mean, the Greeks are influential to the formation of Western thought.
Right.
The Greeks are not the originators of all Western thought.
Right, and because they pulled a whole lot of that stuff from Eastern esotericism, and It's obvious upon examination through the lens
If,
of history.
if anything, I think if we trace the ancestry, the Indo-Aryans did come from India.
Yeah.
So, enough said there. I mean, that's a whole bunch of different research and somebody else's problem.
Right.
So,
we're not in that.
That's just I'm looking at it and like, I'm comparing the legends. They're going back and forth. We got a group that call themselves the Anu that come from northeastern Persia. They go into the Indus River Valley. They come in. They're the Anu. We're the lords. We're the conquerors. We're the and they have a war down there. They call it the Mahabharata. It's Persians fighting in India, back and forth. Things happened, and I think the stories, when they get shared and they get told from different contexts and different viewpoints, we get different stories. But
maybe deep dive for another day.
I think Mahabharata and Abraham are associated.
Absolutely,
I think they are. But we don't get it from Septuagint. I don't think there's enough of the old original text to even get it. So,
known as a child, Anna.
Anyway,
So
kind of
know where the comments were. So
right. So here we go. So Noon here is our he is our child who is humbly learning. Where is he humbly learning? Well, we need to form an actual word other than this, because you could have Noon just meaning a prince. You could, because he's humbly learning and he knows how to rule, but he needs to be somewhere to know this. So let's put him in a house. Let's go Bet Noon. Bet Noon or Ben, because there actually you should have a dot in the middle of it to make it a B. But anyway, we're gonna go like Paleo Hebrew. Find Ben.
I don't have those together. I don't think.
Oh no.
I have Bet.
All right.
Which kind of looks like the other one. Like hold on, can I give you both of them that together? Here like this. Like those kind of look the same, don't they?
They look very much alike.
Noon, and you turn the flat part and stuck it on the bottom and stuck it out a little bit, it would be the same thing.
and this is another thing, is that there are about 3 or 4 different ways of drawing these characters.
Right.
There's also an Aramaic script that uses some of the same characters, and if you didn't know what you were reading or looking at, whenever you've done stuff before and you're like, here's some Hebrew text up here, and I look at it and go, you realize how much trouble this is going to be for me to try to figure out how to decipher, because the font wasn't good to begin with. Right. I'm not sure which letters are supposed to be which, and unless I have context around it, it's easier to figure out what it is, because the way they used to do it, it was all, you had to have the context around it to know what it was. Anyway,
they didn't write with vowels.
Yeah, they didn't.
You had to know what was supposed to be there.
There were no vowels. There was just that. Give me a second here. I think I might. Hang on.
What were we looking for? Was it Aleph Bet?
It is called Ben.
Ben.
Ben. Ben.
I have Aleph Ben.
Yeah, and we should have. Maybe I didn't send it. That might be it. I didn't send it.
But we can.
Sure enough, I didn't send it. This is.
Well, I don't do it every time.
This is entirely.
There's a way that you can share it from your end.
Oh, here we go. The reason I didn't send it was because I was looking at. No, I did send it. I've got it. It's here.
I might have missed it. I am terrible for that. So.
It's here. Hang on a second. I can share it on screen right now. Hang on.
There we go.
There's a present. Let's see. Share screen. I got to figure out where. Window. This one. There it is. Let me find myself here.
If I take that off a stage, there you go. You got it.
There it is. Okay. Yeah. And you're right. It looks so much like Noon and Noon together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that little bit on the bottom sticking out that shows you that that's actually the little chimney on the house, you wouldn't know. It looks like Noon and Noon. Yeah. It looks like Noon and Noon. But okay, now we've got a word where we show a house with the ruler now, the nun, the house, the bet and the nun together. Ben is the word, and it means son. Now we'll go to the next one where we have son and father shown together. So we'll have father and son shown together. So this is the first letter of the alphabet, the second letter of the alphabet, and nun is the 14th letter of the alphabet.
Okay.
If people are wanting to know what the numerical order is, it's not important, but that's what it is.
All right, so do you want me to take control back, or do you want to just go?
Yeah, go ahead, because I know you've already got this one.
All right, so
And it looks better with the black screen anyway.
there you go. It does pop a little bit better.
Yeah, it pops. Yeah, it stands out so much better. Yeah, real professionals here. Real professionals. There
No
we go.
technical difficulties at all, none. Or none.
It's better than I did. Okay, so we have Aleph Bet, and now we have Bet Nun. We have father, we have son. This is great, but they're not together. What if we made them share the same house? They both have a bet. The father ends in bet. The son begins in bet. Let's make them share the same house. Let's show this word. Here we got a word. There we go. This isn't Aleph Bet Nun. It's called even. The pronunciation, of course, is variable. Even is the word for a stone. Now, it's not any kind of stone. It's not a rock. A rock is spelled, well, I don't have the characters for it because we haven't learned it yet, but it's pronounced sir. That sir is a rock. That's a rock, like a boulder or a cliff or something like that. Big, large chunk of crystallized earth.
Right.
Sure. There you go. You could have a rock, also sometimes a stone, but a rock that is a rock like a weight. And that's Selah. Not Selah, but Selah. That's a rock or a stone, a weight. But this isn't that kind of stone. This kind of stone is a precious stone. So a diamond is this kind of stone.
Okay.
Technically speaking, a pearl of great price is this kind of stone, but there's a different word for pearl. So translating it that way in Greek was a really bad idea. I mean, exceptionally bad idea.
They had some exceptionally bad translations come along.
A precious stone that one finds in a field, like I'm walking along and I go, there's a pretty rock, and I pick it up and I get some of the dirt off of it. And I go, oh, wow, well, look at this pretty rock here. Look at this pretty rock. Incidentally, this is me. I'm the annoying kid that found a pretty rock lying in the dirt, dusted off, and I'm showing it to you now.
Right.
That's all I am. I'm a kid who found a pretty rock. I'm the kid that ran in and said, Mom, Dad, guess what I learned at school today? Yeah, that's me. All right. Moving on. Precious stone. Other kind of stone. It's the kind of, it can also, if it's not a precious stone, it's a stone of a type and balance, nice, smooth, that you can use for a sling stone. You could use it to tie onto a piece of rock for a plumb bob to show proper alignment, straight up and down, right? And also, yes, it is a foundation stone. So all of these are this kind of stone. Oh, one more. Also a boundary marker stone. There was a guy by the name of Bahan. They established the boundary with
stone.
And these are the boundary stones. That same word, stones. That's the kind of stone we're talking about. So if you have this interesting combination of father and son are one. See, father and son are one.
Yep.
And they share the same house.
Yeah, because these two are father.
Right.
And these two are son.
Right. And they share the same house now. So when the father and the son share the same house, indwelling within the same house, and they're in alignment with each other, we have a stone that is a foundation stone.
There you go. And upon this stone.
And upon this stone, yes. So that's the philosopher's stone in short. Now, I've got a fly that fell into my drink, and then don't want to.
They don't drink much.
No, they don't drink much. Well, there we go. Like I'm just hold up my jar of Gatorade here and take a big swig of flies. That's good. That's great. Hi.
Next thing you know, it's on the camera.
Next thing you know, I'm going to have frogs coming out of my mouth.
There you go. Why did you swallow a fly?
Little gummy frogs, even.
There you go.
Oh my goodness, that was so funny when I was looking at molds. I was like, I don't want to do gummy bears. What else do they have? And I saw those and I'm like, frogs are so cute. They're so cute. They're little froggies. I can do it with little colors and everything. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, so I get to eat my gelatin and have fun with it. Anyway, okay, moving on. Eben, plural for stone. Eben is avanim. We don't have a slide for this. That's just plural for stone. And at a future lesson, we'll jump into avanim levin, but we'll get to the word lev right now because we already have the two letters that make it. We have lamed and we have bet. And we already know bet means house, right? Bet means house. And we know lamed is the teacher learner. So the place, the house of the teacher learner is lamed bet. Or, bear with me here, at one time you might have even said bet lamed, bet lamed, right? You could have said bet lamed if you were flipping them.
Right.
If you're writing this on a spirit bowl, like they used to, like there's more Hebrew text on these bowls, pottery, and they go all the way back to like the time of David, like all the way back. If you're excavating in those houses, the script that's on the pottery, if you can get it and it's unbroken, you're going to be able to read some interesting things about what people believed back in those days.
It's very interesting.
It's not what you thought. It's
not
what you thought. There's a lot of things that went into the development of the spiritual understanding in that region. And the snapshot that we got from Septuagint that showed up in our Old Testament, that's not a complete picture at all. If anything, people would be best to not think of it as history at all, and perhaps a means of looking at things in a different way and developing a different understanding. But if you take it in as it is written, and you do not break it up and consume it and digest it properly, it is poison.
Yeah.
Just like elderberries. Just like elderberries. Okay, elderberries are wonderful medicine, but if you eat a whole bunch of raw elderberries, they will break it down into glycosianides and they will kill you.
Bad idea.
Yep. You take your elderberries and you prepare them properly and with heat, you transform them into a syrup, which doesn't taste very good, but pears come on at the same time and you can blend pear juice and elderberry juice and that tastes just fine. But the antioxidant properties are wonderful for you and they're excellent medicine. So the process of alchemization takes what was poisonous and makes it into what is good medicine. So keep in mind, when you're approaching scripture, don't take it full dose all the way across into your foundational knowledge. That's belief. You don't want to be a lie. You want to establish foundational knowledge, not foundational belief. We're starting with foundational belief, unfortunately, because we have to have somewhere. Hopefully, where we get to is something that allows us to take our beliefs and transform them and exchange them to knowledge. Maybe sublimate the lies out.
There you go. That would be a
good way of doing it. All right, so we've got lev
extreme heat and pressure and separate the wheat from the chaff.
There we go, and take the dross and transform it into diamonds, even.
Yep.
And maybe we'll do something else too, because now we're getting into fun parts of the language. Lev is lamed, bet, the house of teaching and learning. Lev means the heart. The heart. The house,
the center of all things.
The house of teaching and learning is the heart.
The spot from which manifestation occurs, where you make your dreams and desires known to the world.
And even, it's not even manifestation.
Attraction. Alignment.
It's everything to do with alignment.
Alignment's better.
Alignment is absolutely the best and perfect, as far as I can tell, way of saying what it is. Because whenever you're trying to force your will upon the world, you're violating natural law.
Right.
The natural law is who do you have permission to be ruler over?
The animals, the plants, the earth, but no other person.
But most specifically, yourself.
Yeah, that is true. That is absolutely true.
And if we're not operating from that proper alignment, I mean, we're operating incorrectly to begin with. So we're trying to enforce our will upon the world around us. But the only thing we really have permission to do is exercise our will upon ourselves. By exercising our will upon ourselves and mastery of ourselves, we become the person that receives the gift that we want. We don't try to force the gift from the world around us. That would be unlawful. I mean, I don't know how else I could put it.
All right.
The attempts to do magic in that way is simply...
It's one of the 8 laws of creation.
Like it's simply unlawful. It won't work. Oh, I mean, I won't say it won't work. I should say you'll get results, but they're not going to be the results that you want.
That's the part that people misunderstand. Like you might get a result and you may even get your intended result, but there are extras.
Right.
Like there are more results than the ones you see. And the ones you don't see, they come later and they come in waves. And it's pretty bad. So you want to be aligned with the 8 laws of creation. It's fundamental. It is like physics, quite literally. You can't create anything from anything or from nothing, right? Yeah. There will be a response. Everything is dual. Like it's pretty simple. All you got to do is check them out. Like it's really fundamental stuff. But anyway, back to the heart.
Back to the heart of the matter. Right.
The heart of the matter.
The heart.
I get sidetracked sometimes too.
The heart of the matter. This is where teaching and learning takes place, and we all have one. Isn't this fortunate? We all have one.
That is true.
And since we have one, we might be able to look at it. And if we can, I don't mean like literally tear our chest open and look at our heart, but we can examine ourselves. And because we know ourselves. I mean, this is like they wrote right at the door of every mystery school is know thyself. So knowing of oneself, one knows, huh?
It's the true work.
Right.
The true alchemy is know thyself.
Well, because how do you know anything? You know by experience. You are in the experience of being yourself. Are you a human being? Yes, you are. You're having the experience of being a human being. Congratulations. So am I. I know some things about being a human being because I'm a human being. By being a human being, I know that whenever I examine the parameters that I require for a happy and conflict-free life, there are certain things that are absolutely necessity. And I'll bet if we compare notes, we'll discover that they're the same thing. I'm going to ask him a question for him.
All right.
Jeremy, would you like to be murdered?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I will do everything I can to prevent that from happening, as a matter of fact.
Including, I imagine, acts of extreme violence.
Extreme. Yeah. To the best of my abilities. I will execute that fully.
And
I have the right to self-defense, and so I will self-defend.
All right. Number two. Would you like to be robbed? Would you like somebody to steal stuff from you?
Nope. All of my stuff came through hard work, diligence. I would like to hold on to it.
What about if they just sort of trick you into giving up your money or
That's
whatever you
want? I don't care. You're not going to rob me. I mean,
right. All right. So you don't want to be robbed. There you go.
No.
Assaulted. If somebody wants to come beat you up or do things with your body that you don't approve of. No? Oh, weird. That's strange. How about people say nasty things about your back, about you behind your back that aren't true?
No.
Okay. And if somebody makes an agreement with you, would you like for them to keep their end of the bargain?
Absolutely. What is anything if you don't keep your word?
Okay. So at no point in time, let me check. At any point in time, have I given you a law from me, dictated from me to you, what the law should be? No. So what we have done here is just uncover what was already there. An unveiling of what was already there. What's in your heart? That I think this is the common human law. It is written on our hearts. Because the same thing applies to me. I don't want to be murdered. I don't want to be assaulted. I don't want to be robbed. I don't want to be slandered. I don't want to be cheated. None of these things. Absolutely none of these things. And also, yeah, I definitely would do whatever I can to defend myself against those things happening.
Right.
Yeah, I believe this is what the law is because it's written here. It's in my inner parts. It seems to be fundamental to my makeup, the core of my being. Apparently, part of being human is a knowing and understanding of the law. So, if we already have it, and it's already there, then we don't need for someone to come along and give us the law. What we need is a way of aligning ourselves with truth.
Yeah, to understanding that you already know. Like a child has to be exposed to how to use the bathroom properly.
Correct.
So, I mean, you have to train yourself into how to follow the law because a child is going to attack another child. And so they have to be corrected into how to do it. So you get taught how to act correctly. Like even on a fundamental level, like you don't understand that unless it's been reinforced to you.
Right.
Which is one of the intrinsic problems with anarchy is like somebody has to enforce the rules at some point. Or else
all the participants in an anarchist system have to understand what the inherent natural law is and operate from those principles. Otherwise, they will not be able to participate in society for very long because the wages of sin is in fact death.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when it comes to social order, it doesn't last long.
No, it doesn't.
Before people are acting in accordance with the law. And you don't have to have, in reality, a king. But you do have to have the law,
right? You need some authority to rely upon.
Because, yeah, and this is one of the things where incidentally, I've got books here. I've got your book in association with a bunch of other books.
Nice.
And I've got
That's a nice.
Yeah, I got just a handful off the shelf. I had teased you about putting you next to Larkin Rose's Jones Plantation. There it is there, right?
Right.
Because they're about the same size.
Yeah.
And the reason I have this is because I don't know if that comment went through. You did or did it?
Yeah.
But I'm actually one of the people that is my name is on the movie. I'm not because I believe in all of this, but because it serves as kind of a sledgehammer to complacency in the minds of the people. You've been following this leader, that leader, and not making your own choices.
At least it's something to think about.
And you've been brain dead to the fact that they are just leading you, right. And you don't have your freedom. You think they keep on saying freedom, freedom, freedom. You don't have it. They've deluded you into thinking you have it. This isn't a call for revolution. It's a call for waking the heck up.
Right, taking responsibility for yourself.
All right. So this one goes along with books like Neil Stevens' Snow Crash. How much this has influenced the modern age, until you read it, you don't know. Okay.
All right.
Then we've got George Orwell, 1984. And somewhere there is Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. So these are all not literally true books. They are fictional, but they relate to the evolution of social consciousness.
Right. You can pull some allegories from that bring knowledge.
Right. There we go. Now, this book was a little bit closer to where yours was, but it wasn't exactly right next to it. It's Russell Means.
Right.
Who's this one? Where White Men Fear to Tread. Russell Means was very influential in the Native American liberation movement during the 1970s. He's Lakota and is notorious for reminding us that if you're born here in America, you are a Native American.
That is absolutely true.
All right. And then we've got the books that are in close association with your book. So where you have F.A. Hayek's The Road to Serfdom, which is not fiction. Then we have some what is this? 4 texts on Socrates. Some good stuff in there. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. There's your book. And then we've got A Fly on the Spine of Harnessing the Power of the Universe, a complete guide to Qigong. But if you wanted to really get started at the kind of like the really core of it and do it quick, right at the center of that book, there is some really, really good praxis. I mean, the practical application for how you go about moving energy. It's in there. And it is right. Or right enough.
Close enough to get you there.
Close enough to get you there. Your experiences may vary in minor detail because that's you're the vessel. You're the person having the experience.
Right.
And because of the nature of the vessel, the person having the experience, it is going to be a different experience. So if I tell you my experience, it's not going to be the same. Jeremy's going to tell you his experience. It's not going to be the same.
That's what I tell people all the time. I can relate to you my experience, but I cannot give it to you.
Yeah.
I can tell you what it was like, but you would have to experience it.
Right. So, but he said enough about it that whenever I heard it, sorry, I'm talking over you. He said enough about it that whenever I heard it, I said, "Oh yeah, he's not lying. That is the sort of thing you are going to experience, and it's cool. And there is a lot more out there. Oh, there's so much more out there. And sometimes I'll hear things that are just insane, crazy. Like, you can really do that? Okay, maybe.
Like, I believe in some wild stuff because
I've seen enough crazy stuff that I don't want to discount anything. But
yeah, like, just personal experience I have had is wild. Like, the healing journey that I've been on is amazing. Right. Like, absolutely amazing. I went from waking up at a 7 every day to waking up at a 0. Like, that is amazing. Like, people would pay money for that, and that's not what I'm here for, right? But like, if I can show you how I did that and you can fix yourself, that is beauty to me. And so that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm not trying to be set up as something. I want to relay information. That's the whole goal of what we do over here, is relaying wisdom. And wisdom is knowledge earned, right? So I can relay my wisdom, but I can't give that shit to you.
Well,
you got to earn it.
Yeah, and there's the other problem is whenever we get a little bit further down this road, we're actually really going to be talking about opening up the gates of experience to the inner voice. Something that I did whenever I was a child and I didn't know what I was doing and didn't know at the time that other people couldn't hear the inner voice. And I was in church and I made the grievous error of knowing things I shouldn't have known by listening to my father.
That'll do it. There's only one person
which in that environment, whenever you're supposed to be the child being taught in Sunday school how the dogma is supposed to work, it doesn't work out very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't understand how I got that because I didn't have the language, for one thing. And even some ways of explaining things, I've only recently figured, oh, this is how I explain this thing, because I didn't have the language to explain it. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Science of logic helped me out.
Yeah.
Like, with the whole presentation of the divine and the Trinity, like the way that he explained the infinite and the finite,
now,
really
which one?
The science of logic.
The science of logic.
It's dense. It is heavy, but the way that he put stuff, like he got down to the particulars of the word and how exactly the word should be defined and why it should be defined that way. And that really gave me the framework for the whole chapter.
Yeah, because imprecise speech, whenever I have a way of thinking about things, and I have an internal framework based upon all the storybooks I've read, sometimes works of fiction that I've read that gave me a little wrinkle into a different way of thinking about things, and that's all part of my internal framework. All the real books, the good informative meat, and then all the other things that went along with that to go, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this, all little different viewpoints that form that inner structure of how I perceive. If I relate things from that, they're not going to be the same as anybody else's. And I kind of got off track for a second there. I thought I was on a roll, and then I forgot where I was headed with it.
That's the problem when we start to ramble.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I guess we should go ahead and wrap this one on up.
Right.
We will be back. Jason, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
It has been enlightening. We've learned some things along the way. Let me go ahead and make the transition, and we will see our way out. That's going to bring us to the end of the very first episode of the PittCast. I do intend on bringing on more guests. Jason has been so kind as to come on, and he's agreed to come on some more, but he has a life as well. And so if you have recommendations about people you would like to see on here, drop them in the box down below. If you like what we're doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment. Whether you agree or disagree with anything that was stated, put it in the box down below. And if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. Bear in mind that we are merely students along the way. We are not claiming to be masters of anything, merely adepts with a small knowledge of some things. The things that we do know, we are trying to expose to the world so that they can absorb them and maybe put them to use in their own lives. If you would like knowledge on how I personally have done that, I do have a book that is available by clicking the link down below. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.